Welcome to the morning show, my friends. It is the day after. It's the day after we made love. We created a baby, consciously, that is. We have a thought form of positivity out there, folks, created by you and me. That's not the only one. There will be more. I sense something positive since yesterday's recording, so we'll start there. Today, we will not be focused on doom and gloom, nor will we just have our head up in the clouds. I hope some of you that are new and old school not only appreciate the fact that I'm back, and that you know that I'm not a cult leader, and that you know, those of you that have been around for a while, that that's not my agenda, that I am invested not only in my own soul, but as I said yesterday, I believe in helping other souls, even if they weren't nice to me, because we are connected. And when you help others, you help yourself. So when I talk about this spiritual book that I'm going to be adding to the other spiritual books, and I'm not saying I'm agreeing with everything in the other spiritual books, like the Quran and the Bible. I'm going to say I agree with this. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. This questionable stuff, here's why. But not get into a big historical, and then this happened, and this happened. Just, I know that I have a spiritual heritage, genetically, that's documented. And that I am bucking also the dark side of my ancestors, on all sides, from all 4 points. So I believe that we should consciously heal that ancestor baggage. So today we're going to talk about what it feels like. That's today's video. What it feels like on the day after. Without using a bunch of clips. But I have clips coming. Okay. We'll talk about how the eclipse has been viewed throughout history. And just to speak in a general tone without showing clips. Okay. So I watched, just for a few minutes last night before I went to bed, some of the videos of the people that were in the path of totality, they had the glasses on, okay, that were having what appeared to me to be euphoric, ecstatic, hyena types of yelps and wallops. Did you pick up on that yesterday? The government, which drops bombs on people, the media, which lies about the wars, has been on a campaign to tell you for a while that this whole thing has been legitimate. Meanwhile, and Patrick, thank you for being the only one to send me those emails warning me about, government drills. But here's my response now that some time has passed. Even though I did tell you, get prepared with food and water, I am not at present of the belief that all hell is about to break loose. What did I say about the mid-2020s? That it's a process, that we're heading towards this point, and I'm not guaranteeing you this, but events could manifest that lead to this World War III scenario, that can lead to this invasion, either after 2025 or maybe a few years after, bigger events. If you want me to get literal, I'm not predicting the invasion of America in 2025, but it's absolutely possible that it can happen, but I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm saying 2025 is a marking point, and then I found out later after saying that it's the marking point. I found out later, okay, they did confirm July is going to be the peak of the solar cycle for 2025, for sunspot cycle 25. I am seeing 25 symbolism, and sometimes I upload videos, and you noticed it too, 2525. I swear before Christ that the numerology that we are seeing in the time code, I am only manifesting now intentionally 1/4 of the time, 1/4. Now that I'm becoming conscious of it, I might go with the 3331111. You know, when you see that, I'm only manifesting that maybe like, 1/4 of the time at the end of editing. Most of the time when I'm editing on CapCut, I'm not thinking about it, and I'm just doing it. Also, you're noticing I'm trying to improve my editing. If I throw a few bucks to CapCut, it'll give me plugins. But CapCut's Chinese, and it's banned in India due to hacking. Do you think a guy like me should give China? Maybe if some of you want to throw me some bucks to improve my production quality. I'm not asking you or begging you. I'm telling you that if I start to see more cash come in than what is currently, which isn't great, but I'm not complaining. But if it was to roll in, I will go on vacation and film other places and interview people and improve equipment. But this is an example of the equipment that I have made an improvement on. And hopefully this is better sounding than just speaking directly into the laptop. This is an improvement from wearing a dirty shirt. It's a $9 shirt, man. Making an improvement to my jacket so I can look more professional to actual broadcasters. And let me just make myself clear. Folks, I am willing to get a real radio job if somebody out there could be a liaison. I'm not the best person behind the scenes working with professionals. I do have a way about me that can burn bridges when I feel dissed, okay? That's what happened between me and Coast to Coast. Now, if we did things right like last time, I would not be talking to Coast. I would have a representative or an agent or a liaison be my representative so that people don't have to deal with my attitude problem via email. I have an attitude problem. But you'll see it in video if it's not in email. Or I'll come off or I'll go off in video in a healing way to tell people maybe some emails were less than conscious because I don't want to do that on email because that email exchange feels alien. Cue that song Alien Nation by Scorpions. Then when someone arrives called Alienation and nobody else, I'm going, oh my God. Folks, in an Alex Jones impression, you can't make this stuff up. Then to quote the song from the Repo Man soundtrack, no, I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy. So, we are going to do a video in the next 24 hours on the news of what we see manifesting, okay? That's not going to be this video. I will just say I did see a white guy get beat by black guys who was taking part. He chose to take part in it. He chose to put himself in a bad situation, but he shouldn't have gotten assaulted. But it shows that thug life will turn on each other, you see? So you have this black and white union in thug life when it comes to street racing, yet when those white guys are a passenger in a car, and my intuition's showing me now, I don't know why those black guys punched him in the face, but it's possible that he was the passenger in that car. They span around and they hit somebody or they came close. And because he's the passenger and he's white, and the people that he hit were black, and they're angry because of the current events and algorithmic programming and demonic interference. Not because they're black, because they're human. And I'm going to say more about that. And they go to town on him, and they punch him in the face several times. I did make a video of it, and I got traumatized, and I stopped watching, because I know that if I put it on YouTube, they're going to shut me down, and Twitter, though, can promote it. And then I said to you the other day in the comment section, I told you so, and nobody liked it. What do you think I was telling you? I wasn't saying I told you so, white people everywhere are beating up black people. You should have liked that post. You need to support me as a brown man standing against anti-white algorithmic mind control. If you are unable to do that, your criticisms of me being Muslim, anti-white, snowflake are bullshit, dude, and you're a Satanist. You have to come to Jesus and realize I'm a bigger man than the white bros or white dudes, Red Eyes Creations, saying, stand up, white man, they're coming after you. I'm trying to tell you that you can stand up, white man, protect your woman, protect your job against the anti-white rhetoric without ever saying or doing anything that can reveal or indicate to them or show them or lead them to believe that you are racist. You can, as a white man with complete pale skin, completely defend yourself and your heritage and your community without digressing into garbly-goo. But you need a guy like me to be your mentor. You don't presently have, in my opinion, I'm being your friend, white men that are being your mentor, that are admitting that there is white supremacy that does exist, that is a threat to white people. You need to root that out. I told you that Trump supporter Joey Gibson called the Portlanders racist white people. Trump and Alex Jones never called out Patriot Prayer for calling Portlanders white supremacists. But Portlanders and people outside of Portland might have automatically a beef with me if I call Portland white supremacists because I'm brown. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a beef with me calling out the white supremacy in Portland, Oregon? Let's just wait 30 seconds. Do you or do you not know about Joey Gibson on the Alex Jones Show, connected to Donald Trump? Donald Trump, very happy with Joey Gibson and his activities in Portland, Oregon, whether he was a direct agent or not, had funding. That's another conversation. There's some signs that indicate that, and there's some signs that indicate that Joey Gibson decided to just get back to doing other things and maybe realizing he was a tool, and I'll just stop at that. But definitely don't like the man, but definitely not intimidated by the man. And if I was Eli Ritchie to get close to him, I would actually give him a piece of my mind and try to truth him instead of just interview him. That's fine to be an objective journalist, Ritchie. But to truth, really, Eli Ritchie's actually the only one, though, really, to even ask the hard questions. Can you imagine if a guy like Alex Hansen and Eli Ritchie were actually to get along and actually both address the situation? But the people after Eli Ritchie would have actually come after Ansary, unfortunately, the white supremacists that attacked a black man. But they won't call him black because he has white heritage. This is how psychotic BLM is, the dark side of BLM. If you're not black enough, you're not black, you're white. And so Joanne Hardesty, a very dark black woman, showed black supremacy, unfortunately, to Eli Ritchie because he had the gall to try to speak his mind at City Hall. So they said he was using white privilege. Dude's half black, half white. Okay. So you have a weaponized white supremacy and black supremacy at the same time. Most of you don't know anything about this. You've never heard of this before, ever. No one's ever sat down with you and went, bro, there really is like a matrix mind control demon shit program that promotes white supremacy at the algorithmic level and also black supremacy. And other ethnic groups are like targeted by these groups. Meanwhile, they have this constant. So that's enough out of that. This is review. We're 11 minutes in. It's going to be a longer video without graphics. So anyway, this is the program, folks, that we need to free ourselves from. Moving on. We also need ourselves to be free of the program of what other people are going to think about us. And I've been pretty much enslaved to that program, but I do need to come back to you and create some healing for 6 months between October and where we are now. And basically, there has been healing. And you know basically 93% of everything I think you should know about me and my life. Maybe less than 93%, but those of you that are haters, stalkers, you know like all the really specific juicy details that you know about me. Many of you have been given freely information without me hiding it in the members area, even if you're like a nefarious like alien from another planet monitoring my activities from Jupiter. Because I don't fear you. It's not so much I fear God. I serve God. And even the spiritual things that I have here for humanity is also here for those of you entities that watch me using YouTube. And you know I know what's going on. That you are using the YouTube system as a surveillance database to watch us dumb humans that are dumb enough to trust your networks and your servers. I know that you possess people through YouTube. I know that people that do not shield themselves are not completely themselves. I know that if you remove me from Earth, though, that you're going to put me back in my true form. And as Mike Tyson said, the real action begins when we die. Although I do not consider myself to be a fan of Mike Tyson. So this is a review. Those of you that say that you're anti-Muslim, but you're pro-Tucker and Alex, why are you so anti-Muslim, but you're cool with Tucker talking to Andrew Tate and Mike Tyson? Like, do you know like why I'm bringing this up? Because there's plenty of people that aren't even Muslim that are like Arabic and Afghan. And some of them are American that are Christian that are anti-New World Order, but they're still going to face that stigma. And if they talk about that stigma that they faced, they will be called snowflake, anti-white, George Soros. And so if humans today don't have the soul voltage to have empathy for a human being who was right about China, who was right about the solar flares, if you can't get that man to Times Square, to a hotel, not a flea bag hotel, in the new ghetto of Manhattan, which used to be a nice area, but now is the ghetto. See, a real psychic would be able to see what has happened to the Big Apple, as opposed to a fake psychic. By the way, sometimes people are called fake psychics when they tell people things that are actually true. They're thrown away, they're treated like a feminine tampon product, and they are promptly discarded like some N-word because they were right. Carl Symington is not completely guilty. And it's because Carl Symington is not completely guilty that despite the grievances that I shared with you, I still honored that man when he died. And I chose to connect with him in spirit and tell him what my grievances were. And then when I fell off that skateboard the other day, I was wondering, Carl, but I'm the one who chose to get on the skateboard and do a little of this with my skateboard going this and that, thinking I'm like Daniel-san with Miyagi doing like the kick, on the beach, gonna walk up to the rednecks, push around Miyagi and do the yeah right through the, no, we're not at the California beach, okay? We're in middle America ghetto, although I'm in the nicer side of the ghetto, but it's still the ghetto, where they're spraying the air, where they have toxins in the air, where there's toxins in the water, where there's drugs in the water. Folks, the water that I drink, is filled with dope. Just so you know. I drink filtered water, yes. I haul my own water, yes. I pay $2 for 5 gallons of water, and I manually fill it. And I do more to get my water here than I ever had to do off-grid in Archuleta County, yes. But that water, and the water that I use to shower, which is why I choose not to shower daily, and sometimes I do the jailhouse shower, to be frank, because I feel awkward about all of these chemicals that are in the water. I don't want it. I don't want it going in my body. And during those years in which I was dumb enough to take bupropion for depression caused by too much YouTube, too much weed, too much isolation, and other unmet needs that are human, I chose to let someone who's Muslim brainwash me into thinking that cannabis was evil and of shaitan, what they call the devil. Although he didn't want to go there. He didn't want to talk to me about spirits. He wanted to judge me for knowing about spirits. Oh, you think you've dealt with this and you call them the what? The archon? It's what the Gnostics call the jinn. Numbnuts. By the way, you think I'm done with that guy? That guy may be hearing from me later. Just understand. You don't ever fuck with the life of Alex Ansary and think God allows you to get off the hook, especially if you claim to be a man of God or a Christian or a Jesus, and you screw me over, okay? You make me angrier 10 times more than the person who's just a Satanist who doesn't know any better. If you claim to do what you did to me in the name of Jesus Christ, and you know who you are, boy, because you're not a man, and you don't deserve to have a job. You deserve to be homeless in the streets, begging for shelter because you made me homeless. If you made me homeless, boy, and I won't say your name, dude, you know who you are. Well, there's more than one of you. There's 7 of you, actually. But I'm just speaking in a one sense. One. You are the one. Which one? If you played a role in making me homeless now for this grand event, as America is about to get attacked with hellfire, I'm not going to do anything to you. But I pray every day for God to make the grand correction. Moving on, I have a podcast series, if you want to hear it. It's called The Great Correction. And it was recorded 30 or 33 podcasts. And I talk about all types of things, and it hasn't all been uploaded. I am at present of the opinion that it is possible that there is not an ascension frequency on the planet, but an aspect of you, the audience, that even if I don't have your emails, likes, that on a astral level, on a conscious level, some of you may be way more awake than you were 7 years ago, which is what I was hoping for. The concern was that things would get really crazy. Well, they are. But the question is, why are they? Because I do feel somewhat of a clearing. I don't see signs when I went to bed last night of all hell breaking loose locally. I do see some violent stories in the area, but nothing that I would describe to be out of the ordinary. However, the effects of the eclipse could take place over a period of a few days and weeks. However, there was cloud cover over much of the eclipse, not all of it, in the path of totality. Also, I thought the path of totality thing, although I didn't really study the science of the eclipse slowly, it's like a multi-hour event. But I'm seeing 144 symbolism nonstop for 6 months. So some of the places for the path of totality, it was 144, which would be 1144 Pacific time. This number is going to continue to pop up over and over and over. And in future total eclipses, like I guess there's going to be one in Alaska, which some people are saying they're going to travel there for 2035. I've never been to Alaska, but I'm willing to go to Alaska in 2035. If some of you are off-gridders, friends of mine, want to invite me up there to Alaska if I'm alive in 2035 and we survive World War III. I would be happy if we're alive to look at the total solar eclipse, maybe even with my eyes in 20. No, maybe not. Let's take a closer look at what happens in the next couple of years and do some post-reporting, because that's what's coming in a few days. In a few days from me, today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. My next news show, I'm not going to do news till Friday. Okay, so Friday, I'm going to sit down, do my news, and then release it for Friday night. I don't have many views for my show, so I'm not really doing the whole scheduled time thing, but I can try to do that. 4 o'clock Pacific or 5 o'clock Pacific. And so we're going to look at that point at the news regarding the last couple of days and the murders. And some of the stories, one, I think it was down in Houston. Hispanic guy came up, probably on some other Hispanics, pistol whipped them, pulled out his gun, and then he took the little girl. And then, of course, you know what he did. And then you look at his eyes. And it's not his race is that the issue. It's the fact that he's demon-possessed. It's the fact that in around this eclipse, he was so taken over by the spirit of lust that he was hijacked. Even if he has a history of rape, at that moment when the eclipse came, that demon popped out and went into his vulnerabilities because he already had a predisposition maybe of rape, and he goes into rape mode when certain things happen. And this is what humans don't understand, that are so focused on, let's just focus on the positive. Okay? If you're so focused on the positive, okay, quit your job, quit your mortgage payments, quit paying your taxes, quit buying new clothes and new shoes, and just go out into the wilderness then. Be positive. Don't be negative. Don't say you're going to lose everything. Don't say you're going to lose everything if you go out and seek your freedom and be in nature. Be positive. See, you want to talk about being positive? No, be positive, bro. You don't have to stay in Northern California and be a rent slave and be enslaved to the people that own your... Be positive, bro. You can leave your enslavement and be me and be free from those people in your life that are controlling you. Be positive. Be positive. Don't be negative. Don't be negative and stay silent about the issues that matter and never have a YouTube channel and speak your mind. Be positive, bro. Start a YouTube channel and do something with it other than say my name or make it about me or being inspired by me. Speak for yourself. Leave me out of it and be a truther and use your given birth name and show your muscles verbally, not just physically. Show your verbal muscles that you are willing to bench 5 plates of truth. Let's add 6 plates, and let's do it without the juice. Let's do it without the steroids. Let's do it without the clickbait. Let's do it without the racism. Let's do it without groveling to right-wing or left-wing, white and black supremacists, douchebag psychopaths. Let's do it with God instead. Let's get ourselves an Afghani truther who speaks Farsi for real, who actually knows Afghans, isn't just someone who contains a little Afghani DNA, who's hated by Afghan people. No, let's get an authentic guy who knows how to make Afghani kebabs, guy who plays the music, the whole 9 yards, no offense intended. But let's get an authentic Afghani who ain't from here, who's got full soul, he's got the Jesus spirit, he's anti-Taliban, he loves cannabis, he loves America, he loves freedom, he knows the truth about 9/11. Let's find that dude. Let's find that dude. Let's connect him with the great Alex Ansary, who's got this Anglo-Saxon sword that scares away the Arabs and shit. Let's just be frank. That Anglo man in me scares the shit and the piss out of Arabs and Afghans. It's not normal, folks. One time, Hamid, one of the few Afghan dudes I've ever known, through chance, through just having to live with my psychopathic father in Virginia in 1995, introduces me to his friend named Mustafa. Mustafa meets me. It's not, hey, how are you, Alex? It's, here, let me put you in a chokehold and, like, choke you out till you beg for mercy. It's like, tap out, bro. Who the fuck are you, dude? No wonder they drone strike your asses. No offense intended. That dude snatched me up in seconds. And I was like, ugh, like, bro, talk about, like, you know, about to, like, lose your life in seconds from a psychopath. So don't you think for a second that I'm saying those people overseas are like, oh, like, I'm open, dude. If they can't come to my domain and treat me with respect. No offense intended to Desert Fox if you're even still there. You're still there. They'll never go away. But you gotta take accountability for what you've done. You've come and you've represented the Orthodox. You've represented Orthodox, and you dissed on me, trying to promote the side of Islam that can educate some white folks to stop killing Muslims. Which makes me think that you're not fully consciously on the up and up, even if your heart's in the right spot. So let's say your heart's in the right spot. You're not a government agent. Your head up here is not well. That part's guaranteed. So if your heart is in the right spot with Allah, up here is not mentally sound, based on previous actions and lack of empathy when certain issues were brought up. So my beef, if you will, with Nazis, black supremacists, the sword is also pointed at self-righteous Muslims that are doing that, talk about how they're so great. Okay. It's actually Trump-supporting patriot white folks that watch me. Folks, I'm sorry to quote Alex Jones, you can't make this stuff up. Yes, there's a few closet vax-taking Biden folks out there, but they're maybe 1 to 3% of the audience. They're hiding. They're hiding. There might be a few left-leaning folks that came on since Coast to Coast, since Coast to Coast tries not to overtly look like it's pro-right-wing nutbag douchery, but at its baseline, at the back end of Coast to Coast, it is right-wing QAnon, someone controlling the scene, someone controlling Lisa Lyon's decision making, Lisa Lyon being programmed herself, Lisa Lyon saying to me in a private phone call, there's no contract we made for me to keep these conversations private at all. Oh, there is no truth movement. Everybody's in it for the money. Lady, that's not true. Plenty of us are in it, and you're not even recognizing my spirit. You're going to play that game that you're so innocent, you're so great, yada yada. Well, you're not. Okay. I do sense a force that gatekeeps at Coast to Coast. And again, the phone in that motel room kept ringing, and for some reason it wasn't working. So there was a phone issue. That was not my problem. I don't think that the phone issue, the solar storm that happened around that time, was causing the phone issue, because the phones were working. The phones were working, and the phone was ringing. But every time I picked up that phone, there was nobody home. And it kept ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. And then let's talk about this. I know that I could have prepared better for that interview technologically with my cell phone. I know that I was so gung-ho about preparing for it, right? This is the part of me that I would not call autistic, but it's the part of me that others would see as retarded, stupid. You know what I mean? What is your problem? Folks, the world really is like this. There really are people like me that are somewhat geniuses that have these shortcomings or character defects that others don't have. Now, traditionally, when it comes to showing up at work on time, I've never, ever, 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 ever not gone to work. Except for in the year 2000 when I was doing drugs and I was burnt out during the solar flares, and I just couldn't make it to work. That's actually the real reason why I had drug burnout also, other than just drugs, when I was doing drugs. It wasn't just the drugs. It was the solar maximum and all the energy being removed from my body from the drug usage, and then ending up becoming completely drained. So drained, all my energy taken, that my body literally couldn't even move, and I couldn't even get up to make it to work, losing my job as the overnight waiter at the truck stop located in Aurora, Oregon, right off I-5, for those of you that want to get a map. I worked there while banging. And the waitress that I worked with, her boyfriend sold me the drugs, right? If you're not yet aware of how insane this reality really is, how much danger you can find even at work and at school. And this is what modern parents don't understand. When you put your kids through public school, because you weren't put through that stuff in school, your little girl could get raped or touched inappropriately, and your ass is going to act surprised. There's no memory that I have of my mother ever going to school to intervene and me getting punched in the head. So when we were going to move to Portland, Oregon, to get away from when we were booted from the property, it had nothing to do with what I went through in Aurora. It had everything to do with the fact that the farm was being sold. The reality of the situation is there were far more assaults on my person in Aurora, Oregon, just for the record, while living on that farm. While living in my mother's presence, actually. As opposed to when I got away from my mother. And I was living with my father. And I was away from Aurora. And I was up in Wilson. By the time that I was back in Wilson in 1996, the real danger that would come to me, the real assault that would come at me, would come from the Norwegian white male that I falsely thought was my friend, the G-Man. Now, if the G-Man wanted to talk to me, if the G-Man really wanted, right, this is why you got to wait before you talk to people, before you ever respond to an email from someone who's like, hello, I'm your friend. Hello, I want to talk with you, but I don't know what your email is. First of all, don't ever respond. You want to respond verbally on video? Do that. Don't respond and think that responding with your text message is safer than communicating with your voice. There's no secrets, Gunner. You're contacting a famous public figure. Dumb fuck. You're the retard. You're the retard. You're the retard. You're the retard. Who doesn't know that I was on national radio because you aren't even curious. You're the retard who hangs out with Mike Bluehair, who didn't even tell you that I was on national radio because you hang out with people that hate me. And yet you want to come up into my field and do that, hey bro, I'd love to talk, but I don't. Every fucking buddy knows my email. It's solarstorm333@proton.me. Now, folks, how many times have I said my email on this show? Many times. Many times. And so if he's going to subscribe to another channel and he somehow doesn't know about my main channel, or if my main channel is shadow banned, like that's major interference, and that's really screwy. These are the folks, this is not anti-white, these are the folks that are seen as the cream of the crop by Hitler and the people influenced by Hitler, the G-Man. And the G-Man was sent in, like the Terminator, not the good one, to interfere with the young John Connor, Alex Ansary. Before time traveler Alex Ansary as a soul, although I was mocked by George Norrie when he asked me if I was a time traveler. He really didn't care. He was like, oh, this dude's nuts. Let me just ask him nutty questions and gaslight him. Yeah, thanks, George. Thanks a lot. Maybe I'll send you an email, George, in 1 year's time with a free ebook link. And you can learn about what I think about this world and our mutual friends or associates in the role Coast to Coast has played, unfortunately, in the great slumber. Simultaneously, the Great Awakening, simultaneously, the Great Slumber, just to keep things balanced between the influence of God and the devil. You don't know which influence is coming through on Coast to Coast. Oh, this is godly. Oh, this is so of God. Oh, this is so of Satan. It's a melting pot, and that's what you've got. But that's what you've got with me and every human being that you're going to come across. The potential for the shadow side to be dominant. You need to be tapped in enough when you click play to have that psychic intuition as we hit the 33333 to know whether I'm on the higher end of the frequency in this video or the lower realms. But the lower realms are not worthless. We have to go and descent sometimes into the negativity and talk about those things in our world that we have to dissect and analyze so we can evolve beyond it. Being in a supposed, what appears to be lower frequency wearing dark colors, not a white shirt, is not indicative of a lower soul. Having a color coding in which I have paler skin, more handsome skin, as opposed to the dark, foreign look, is not indicative of a better video. That's all appearances. Me looking better and better shaved in certain days and looking less ethnic is not a sign of more spirituality. Just keep this in mind, that what I look like at the moment that you hit play, the look in the eyes, the shape of the nose, the rapidity of the speech, is not an indicator of a low level of consciousness. It's just an indicator that I'm not a typical man. Instead of judging that with a microscope, acknowledge it and go, there is no man who has that fingerprint like him. He is someone worth saving. He's more anti-white than Alex Jones because he's not cheering on and going on with the David Dukes of this world. Now, if at present you're not conscious enough to understand what I just said, then you won't understand further. And I can help you no more. But for those that are activating with the solar flares, with the eclipse, you know that we have some jobs to do. And so there's going to be future, right, meditations at 1:44. This is going to be a process because this 144 number is coming at me. Sometimes it may be Pacific time. Sometimes it will be Mountain. Sometimes it will be Central. Sometimes it will be East Coast. And if we have major events taking place, then I will personally go to Denny's, because where I am allowed to have a bed that is safe and secure, that is not shared by another human who I have to pleasure, I am allowed to be non-sexual at this time. Okay? Humans who I have known in the past, okay, did not allow me to be asexual. They treated me like a piece of meat. Okay? The humans that I interact with now do not treat me like a sexual piece of meat. And if I ever am to have sex with a woman again, she's actually going to love me, my content, and my soul. She's not going to get down like a dog and start barking and go, hit me, baby, one more time, or start howling for fellatio. She's going to prove to me she actually is a real Christian, instead of just drinking and throwing Bible verses at me and basically talking smack, like the woman from 2009 and 10 who later dated knowingly a Freemason. A woman claiming to be Christian who was an alcoholic druggie, who on and off watches this channel with judgment, not love, not the love of Jesus, but the love of someone of the lower realms. They can only appreciate a man for his carnal side. Oh, that's so sexy. No, what's sexy is being willing to stand against what China and Russia are doing. Your inability to not only be attracted to that, but to tell your mother about that, your neighbors about that, and everyone in Lake Oswego and Portland, Oregon about that, reflects on you. I will not compliment or be nice to any of you coming out of the Portland, Oregon area, especially if you left and you went back. If you left and you repented of the satanic aspect of Portland, Oregon that influenced your life and your way with me, then awesome. Let's talk and heal so that we can evolve beyond hell. But if you're going to act here before me and tell me Portland's heaven, if you are running around Portland, Oregon, and you have more than a few friends, and they like you and talk to you, and you're not telling them about me, you're not their friends and my friends. You're their friends, buddy. You don't get to be this private, talk to me, oh, I'm in Portland. Yeah, what are you doing for me in Portland? Nothing. Stop talking to me. We're done. I will no longer say your name or make references to whoever I'm talking about. If you're in Portland, Oregon, and you're watching this channel, no, I will not. The new era, the new age of Aquarius begins now. We will leave that man alone. We will leave that woman alone. We will speak like Jesus in parables about the unconscious nature of today's human. We will rewrite the holy book. We will stand against the selling of women. And the women that are acting like this isn't happening and act like the men that talk about these things are negative, unless they're white men that are into QAnon, then they're the Save the Children men with 1 million views on their video. You can be a white man and be against the trafficking of women, have white women like you, and be in the comment section. You cannot be part Afghani. And also expose it. They will not allow you to be seen as that dude. You cannot email me. Your emails do not exist. They were not sent yesterday. I am not in a simulation in which you are not here. You are here in the simulation with me. This is a simulation, and you are in it with me. But in the simulation on your side of the screen, you are to evolve with heartfelt consciousness, to have empathy for my story. Because if you don't have empathy for the human being speaking to you, you don't have a chance in hell understanding my other concepts. So why am I just going to sit here and just go on and on and on about all of these world events during the solar cycle if you can't appreciate the genius that brought you that info? One human contacted me after the Coast to Coast show. But he never sent an email. He never went to Substack. It was all, talk in the comments. Talk in the comments. And I'm like, bro, we have to think outside the box of the algorithm. Okay? It's a litmus test, and it's not a line. Okay? This is what's going to happen, folks. I'm going to be talking with some of you in comment sections. I planned this out a year ago. And for you to gain entry to talk to me in the future, you have to answer 3 to 10 questions. And all of those questions are questions that are in line with Christianity or Buddhism. Maybe they're not in line with Islam. But basically, do you have a beef with me talking about my life? Yes or no? Do you recognize that I stood up for white off-gridders being kicked off their land? Do you recognize that I'm beyond gender warfare? I left Trump out of it, bro. I left Alex Jones out of it, bro. I left compassion for the racism that I experienced out of it, bro. And none of you showed up. There's trillions of people on Facebook, bro. Everybody wants to give me that. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook. But there's plenty of people are on Twitter, on Facebook, and they don't want to come to my group. They don't want to like the page. And they're fucking on Facebook. And then I come to find out what is happening to me is not happening to you, and you're not talking about it. Okay. I can send, listen to me. Listen to me. No, don't argue with me when I'm talking. Just sit down and be silent for a minute. When I message Afghani women, and like I told you, and I start Facebook groups to honor the Afghani translator who served loyally U.S. troops, who was murdered by black thugs, you need to understand the algorithm is doing everything in its power to prevent yours truly from reaching Afghanis. Because of the group soul component that Dion Fortune talks about, I think that I have like a golden child type magical ability to be a healer of that Islamic psychosis, of the Islamic people. I could literally speak into a megaphone and it could be translated into Farsi or Arabic and scream over there. No, I don't disrespect God, but let me just say this. F your loudspeaker. I'm taking the show over. You're going to stop listening to You're going to stop walking around the rock for 5 fucking seconds, and you're going to sit down and fucking listen to me. In the same way that Tina Turner said to Ike, no, you are going to sit down and shut up. You are not in control of the situation. I am in control. And so I have been watching these people circle the rock, doing this. We are in the car. I'm not who you thought I'd be. But you know there's a fever. Okay, so we are in the car. I just had to make sure that we were recording. Okay, so let me just say whatever I was saying created an energetic intensity in my speaking space, and I had to get in the car and leave. That's all I'm going to say to you right now, okay? And I'm telling you that I am in prayer to the Creator to be rescued, okay? And I think that it's time for Alex Ansary to hit the big leagues, okay? I am going to plug in my microphone now. One, two. I believe that my headset is plugged in. Okay, we're rocking. We're rocking. So I am in prayer, guys, because I'm ready. Spirit told me to come back to the internet, but not verbally, but it's an inside signal. And Spirit told me that I need to stop listening to the people that I trusted outside of you. And I need to try to reach out to some of you because it's only because of some of you that I even was helped to begin with. And people in this world that want to tell me that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing on the internet because they're helping me, forget. They would have never found me if I'd have never gone on the internet. So people that like me, that find me, they should never tell me to leave you. And you, if you find me, you should never tell me to leave the people because you never would have found me if I never was on the internet. We're going to find a place to do our show, guys. Oh, dear Lord. Dear Lord. And just because people are feeling good doesn't necessarily make me think that they're having a spiritual experience. You understand what I mean by that? Like, I don't assume that people are having a spiritual experience just because they may be feeling pleasure from the eclipse. Okay? And so, even if you're not in the path of totality, there's still an energy that's going across your planet in that period and in the days and months that follow. And so, let's go deeper into this. I'm going to do like a very unique thing for a human being, and I'm going to be really disciplined with my days. Basically, and if you want to give me feedback on audio, but I try to monitor my levels. Basically, the world's going to be throwing at us, this is not new, this is just review, a lot of satanic crap. Basically, the world's going to be throwing at us a lot of satanic crap. Basically. And you need to be aware of this. Okay? That this is taking place, that this is going on. That we're dealing with a lot of satanic crap. And so a lot of people out there, they are not yet in their spiritual place. And so it's easy for them to feel pleasure when the sun comes out. One of the things that I was suspicious of, when I tell people don't look at the eclipse, and they, just because they want to look at the eclipse, right, they do it anyways even after I warn them. And it's not just a matter of the eclipse, it's being outside, right, during eclipse day. And so you have people that are looking at the eclipse when it's a partial eclipse. And you have people looking at quarter eclipses just to look at it, just to look through the glasses and see the sun obscured. And even a partial eclipse or total eclipse, like, the ancients didn't do that. They studied the sun, they studied the moon. Now, there is a history of kings dying also. And the question is, could there be, for example, a history of archons dying during eclipses? Could certain eclipses bring forth the death of certain Anunnaki rulers that have been living for thousands of years? That's the question. So, I didn't want my opinion on the eclipse to be tainted by the perspective of others, New Agers or Doomsdayers. So I maintain a center path, you see. The world's going to shit, but there is innovation that comes through, but sometimes that innovation isn't necessarily to serve the highest good. It's innovation. Musk is being celebrated for his innovation of helping blind monkeys see through microchips. And he's now doing the Rocky dance. And yet Elon Musk at the same time is pushing fake news that Iran has attacked Israel. And I told you deepfakes were coming that would show you fake news. The first step is fake news and the algorithm that pushes it. The next step is technology that the deep state or New World Order created. But I don't use deep state as a terminology because it's very much right-wing, like LARP. It's dominant. It's dominant partisan. It's partisan dominant. It's not free the left-right paradigm. Certain language and vocabulary, like when you say the words social justice warrior, like I do, rather when I do, I specify that I'm not a right-winger. Most people that say social justice warrior are critical of people pushing back against racism. You should push back against racism if you wanted to deny Nazism, or if you want it to be in non-existence. Then you need to bring our reality into a reality in which Nazism doesn't exist. And what you have now are fringe groups that get to use certain symbols, and Facebook will take down my group when I put up a symbol, or maybe I'll put up a symbol and try to recruit some activists. They will see the symbol, call me a Nazi. The reality is, due to the demonic problem on our planet, demons on the left and right will attack people of color by accusing those people of color of being their political enemy. So, to the right-wingers, the colored patriot will be a snowflake, and to the left-wing psychopaths destroying Portland, the colored truther who's nonpartisan will be a right-wing fruitcake. But when there is an actual right-wing fruitcake by the name of Clyde Lewis, who does dabble in fake news, blame immigrants for everything, say that immigrants are going to move into your house when that's not true. It's a TikTok video based on some immigrant from Venezuela who went viral on TikTok out of New York. There is no federal declaration for immigrants to live in your house. So if Clyde Lewis is on Portland, Oregon radio airwaves, and Portland, Oregon has allegedly an issue with Antifa, you have to come to some awareness then Antifa is cool with an ally of Donald Trump. Antifa in Portland, Oregon is cool with an ally of Alex Jones. His name is Clyde Lewis. And I'm demonstrating to you now, folks, that I am psychic, and I'm declaring now that I'm ready to go to work. If you, folks, you heard it here first, so if you don't want me to work for you, fine. Fine. But don't act like this conversation didn't happen. Thank you, God, for allowing me to park somewhere to do my show when the sun rises, so I can, be somewhere where I don't create alarm and disturbance for other people that just want to be left alone and not hear my voice. It's time for me to have my own space. It's time for me to move into full manhood and masculinity. And to cherish and heal that sacred feminine within me that wants to protect women that isn't yet loved now by the women of 2024. But the women may come to love me later in life, and the women that may come to love me later in life, you need to know that later in life I will not have housing or health care or retirement. Don't give me your compliments, don't give me your likes, don't tell me wow, don't tell me your life story about your family. Just save it. Save it for people that you actually know. If you wake up to the fact one day that I know something about something, you need to plot, you need to conspire against the archons. You need to begin to plot against demons. Once you begin to realize that I have value, that's my commandment. Take your donations, your likes, and shove it up your asshole, buddy. You need to conspire against Satan. The moment you begin to believe that my videos are truth, you need to write down, I now hereby my name, Joseph Smith Peterson Nagel, Ansary, Lewis. Whatever it happens to be, Jones. I hereby solemnly pledge my soul against Satan, and I recognize that Alex is a light being like the others, and I'm not going to just treat him as entertainment and throw him money when he entertains me and makes me feel good about myself. I am going to dedicate my life to making sure that the world will always know there was an Alex Ansary, that even though we took out his people because his people acted like they were fucking monkey men, a man amongst the monkey men emerged to show that he was different. Maybe it was the Lewis line, which Clyde comes from. Maybe it was the Nagel line, which Jones likely comes from. Or it comes from where Jones comes from, the Nagel and or the Lewis. And wouldn't it be a surprise that we found an Ansary Jones line that nobody ever knew about that was a few thousand years old. But again, I'm off topic. But there is a line, folks. There is a line not only between myself, Clyde Lewis, George Dory, Alex Jones, but so many of you that I had sex with that are related to my grandma and the English bloodline. Girl, you know what's true? So, you need to wake up to the fact that I'm not Nephilim, I'm not a space alien. If you as a woman will come up to me and go, wow, you're a man like no other. And the second that I don't show you sexual mojo, and then you go around my back and you say he's no good, you know I know the truth, woman, about the demonic problem in our world. Not only am I right, but they got you. You're what's wrong with the world. Not only are you wrong about what I am being wrong with the world, you have documented to me with evidence, quantifiable proof, I've got the email to show, that you are saying evil things about me, a light being, because I am against your sexual slavery and the demons that rule Portland, Oregon. And what's even more mysterious about this whole thing will not be mentioned or said. But it has to do with the reality of people being in my energetic space, where I grew up as a little boy in Portland, Oregon, in various pockets of Portland. People actually maybe even gobbling up young AA baby energy. In Portland, Oregon, people that are vampires today. There are vampires today that are possessed by Satan that live in Portland, Oregon, that are actually actively gobbling up some of the good mojo that Alex Ansary left behind. Portland, Oregon is more valuable because Alex Ansary was born there. What makes Portland, Oregon valuable and high dollar is the energy construct that brought Mommy Nagel and Mommy Ansary, or Daddy Ansary, I'm sorry, that's more the future. We're all like a bunch of women or something. They killed all the men. That was some channeling there, folks. But yeah, Daddy Ansary and Mommy Nagel Lewis, and whatever last name the Indian line came from, they brought together basically a super baby, a Superman. And while there might be others that go, I'm like you, bro, I'm also a Solar Max baby. Not unless you put yourself out there on the firing line and you've done these things. Okay? You've got to have a bullshit detector that does not have patience for scumbags on the internet, that does not care about the victims of war. Here comes a trucker. And I'll wave at this trucker like I am basically a guy. Oh, okay. On a CB radio. But where is my CB radio? You are the solution to the new world order. All right. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. Just throw out a few sound bites once in a while. Somebody might hear that and go, what's up? What's up? Oh, lordy boy. So where are we on time? 56:51. Dear Lord. Okay, first of all, note to self, always have a Bible in your car. That's to me and you. The Bible that I have, I didn't have to pay for. Now, who do you think tried to offer to send me a Quran? Nobody. Who do you think offered to give me the Torah? One black woman in Portland, Oregon, who believed that I was, folks, you need to know there's at least 30 people that I know that believe that I am something other than what a person randomly looking at. Listen, I told you, random women in the streets throwing out Bibles, unless you think they're making it up, told me that God told them that I'm not a normal human, basically. Now, once I started to talk about black people assaulting me, once I started to talk about the black woman insulting me, and how I want black people to respect me, that's when she excused herself from the situation, because she is human. And she was triggered by me saying that the issue isn't just, white people and, white supremacy. It's also other things and people in this community. Having said that, I'm aware that the neighbors, and I won't call them gangbangers, but, you got to understand, last May, when I got off and made the decision with God that I was going to return to the internet, even though I didn't have my trauma worked out yet. Like, I'm not free of my trauma, but I have it in check now to where I can function, is what I'm saying. I can function again with you. You know what I mean? I'm a functional CP. My trauma's not gone, but I'm learning to just, I basically am not going to deny it and hide it. If that beautiful blonde woman's going to talk about her supposed schizophrenia, which I don't even buy, I want to know if she's a gifted woman who's actually able to see the light. I'm sick and tired of this fucking society insulting white people and saying they're fucking evil and fucking satanic because they have gifts and can see aliens and shit. What I am is a guide for spiritual people because I am white. I'm a brown white person. And this is why, folks, some of you have been coming around me, but the Afghanis are like, bro, you smell like poo-poo. When I'm not even fucking in their presence, you're like, bro, we don't know what your deal is, but fucking what the angels or entities around us are saying, bro, you ain't shit. Like that bully and over the top and shit. I am shit. I am the shit. I'm not. Whatever, bro. Clip that. You know what I mean? Man. There literally could be a documentary of the AA clip bloopers. Like, if you want to go down there, they're just like, I'm the man out of a planet of 8 million people. Whoa, 8 million people on planet Earth? Alex, what year are you living in? I watched The Terminator again last night. Oh, the prophecy in that. The prophetic visions of Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater, even if he was 28 playing a teenager. It's so many other movies. Firestarter. And then you see, this woman that was abused by her parents basically wants her mom dead. I don't want my mom dead. I want my mom to not end up in hell. And so anybody that would chastise me, even psychologically, thinking that, oh, dude, you shouldn't tell your mom that she has blind spots, so she's got blind spots. It's documented. Her soul's in trouble. My dad's soul's in trouble. Your soul's in trouble. Our collective soul is in trouble. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? And we need to own this and understand this situation that we are in. Okay? Not a joke. So, I hope that you are eating your Wheaties and saying your prayers and that you're taking your vitamins and all that shit. Because this is a very important time in human history. And so you should use this excess energy to bring yourself some enlightenment. In a future video, we'll talk about the magical Battle of Britain. Absolutely. Coming soon to a movie theater near you. The Alex Ansary story. Satan exposed! Through the Alex Ansary story and book. In a way that no Bible, no Quran, or Torah has ever exposed this world. The time has come. Things will be said in the coming years that haven't been said for thousands to hundreds of years, and nobody and nothing is going to stop me. Not homelessness, not the devil, not Satanists, not black supremacists, not Afghan Islamic supremacists that are too fucking blind from Shaitan's whispers to see my fucking value. I tell you, it's ridiculous seeing Afghanis and Muslims nuts with their Shaitan, nafs, voices in the head thinking that I've done something wrong, thinking that I'm incomplete, thinking that they are more loyal to God than I. No, if that's your attitude, fuckers, you are in trouble. What you gonna do, bitch? Exactly, nothing. That's what I fucking thought. And what are you doing now? What are you doing now in your town with this eclipse energy? What have you done in Lake Oswego? What have you done in downtown Portland? To wake up the NASA, to wake up the zombie apocalypse before they fucking start pushing guns and destroy us all. What have you done, huh? What have you done? Don't tell me you're a fellow of God with you on the sideline, playing quietly in a cave. It's time to go into the cave, and it's time to come out of the cave and start talking some shit. You are commanded by Jesus Christ to start calling out the evil of this earth. There are people in government that armed China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. You cannot trust your government. You cannot trust your mayor. You must become your own Messiah and guide to survive the darkness that is coming to earth. Prepare spiritually, not just physically. The wise man is the man who did not look at the eclipse. The media who lied to you about wars told you to look at the eclipse. They paid for your eclipse glasses, but they won't pay for your health insurance. should pray for the weak and the hungry. We don't know the real culprit of 9/11. What they told us isn't true, but the ultimate truth, we actually don't know. But China and Russia are not innocent with regards to 9/11. China and Russia are not innocent with regards to September 11th, 2001. Pray for me. I am a man of God, and I sacrifice myself for your freedom. Now, in this place, I live amongst you, a man of God. Pray for me, and I will back you. Pray for me, and I will come to your aid in the event that the lights go out. Pray for me, that men of God will come to my aid when the lights go out. I will back you. I will be your reporter. I will back you when they come for us. China and Russia are going to invade America, and you may be a place where we survive, but the West Coast is in trouble. Portland is in trouble. LA is in trouble. New York is in trouble. Houston is in trouble. Houston is one of the top targets of Russia. And if you don't think Russia would hack your social media to turn us into Nazis, you're not awake if you don't know that your social media on Facebook is tampered with by China and Russia. Your government under Biden and Trump is sold out. They want us racist. This is the most racist place I have ever traveled to on the earth. This is the most racist place I have ever traveled to on earth. If you want to come to God, look at your brother now, to the left and right of you, and say, you are a human being. White lives matter. Black lives matter. Arab lives matter. You will not stop my light. I will not relinquish my belief in Christ. You will not scare me. I am a man of God. It is time to hold the devil accountable. It is time to kick the devil out of the church. It is time to kick the devil out of the church. Are you with me? What you have are too many people running around with guns shooting people. Okay? A woman who gave me a Bible knew that I was a prophet because she hears the voice of God. And she knew me as a man of God because God told her so. Okay, China is going to invade America, and you should thank God that you heard the warning from me. Humanity has the power to defeat the dark grid. You have the power to defeat Satan. You have the power to save your own soul. Go to the light. The power of the light is greater than the power of Satan. The power of the light is greater than the darkness. You have the right and ability to free yourself from the evil of this world and save your soul. In Jesus' name, amen. Thy will, not mine, be done. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We will not be afraid. We will not back down. We will not relinquish our natural given bullshit detector. We are the true servants of Christ. We are the 144. We are the 144,000, and we will not be stopped. We will ascend throughout the heavens. We will escape to the ninth gate, and there will be karmic justice to those who destroy God's children.
Seal your doom, and though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. For no mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
There will be karma to the evildoers of earth. There will be justice. Yeah! The light will prevail. The light will prevail. The light will prevail. Do not fear the solar flares, but be prepared. Do not fear the sun. The sun is truth. The sun is light. Do not fear the sun, but do not look at the eclipse. Do not worship that which God has created, but respect and understand God's creation and come to God. You are in an ungodly place, and you are now commanded to serve God. Right here in this place, you are in a vortex of light, because I and my audience have created this light. We have created the vortex of knowledge and truth. It is time for you to awaken. By 2030, anybody that matters on earth will know my name. It will take time. It will take blood. It will take pain. It will take poverty and tears. But the entire world will know my name in 5 years' time. And everything that I went through, and everyone that I fought for. And they will read my words after the collapse in 100 years' time. And they will rebuild society with the blueprints of success. It's time to access the light and decode the matrix. It is time to access the PDF and understand the blueprint to your cosmic divine success exists within your heart now. I want the trees to wake up, like Lord of the Rings and shit. I command you now, like Gandalf. We are in a fight against the devil. And the devil hates you, trees, but I don't. I can see. And one day you will not exist, because the orcs on your side of the wall are coming. And the people in charge of your maintenance don't love you or even realize that you have a spirit, but I do. And there will be repercussions for every one of you that destroy God's creation. You sit here with your bombs and missiles, but you don't know what bravery is. Bravery is driving without a gun and a megaphone and saying things to get people killed for. Bravery is declaring that you are one of the 144,000 and your ancestry without fear of anything the devil can do, knowing what the devil can do in seconds by a push of a button. Let me tell you what faith is, folks. Faith is not just going to church on Sunday. Faith is not just going to church on Sunday and acting like that's all you got to do. That's not all you got to do. You have to live the teachings of Christ. You have to literally live it in your heart. You have to overcome white supremacy, racism, black supremacy, and anti-Semitism. You have to identify that you are the people that are bombing countries and no one's stopping you. Okay, you need to stop what you're doing now. I am on your side, America, but you got to understand China and Russia are not on your side. China and Russia are plotting against you, and you have people in power locally and nationally that are taking money from your future invaders. They are here. They are here. They are here in Dallas. They are here locally. People in bed with the Russian government who hacked your city are here. The devil is here. This is why you have strip clubs. This is why when you go to strip clubs, you see the ugliest women on earth. At strip clubs, the ugliest women on earth. That's backwards. The reason they're the ugliest women on earth is because you are being polluted. The fracking, the Satanism, the racism. Even when you go to a strip club, you see the ugliest women on earth. That has to do with evil. There is an evil presence here, and this is why when I meet you physically and look into your eyes, you treat me with hatred. Every time I talk to you in person and I say that I am of the light, come with me if you want the light. Every time I speak to you and I offer to tell you about the Russian-Chinese threat, you treat me with disrespect. Every time I give you a chance to be my friend one-on-one, you treat me like I am an N-word, and I don't appreciate it. It doesn't matter what your heritage is. You all have a racist attitude going on, and you need to get your shit figured out, because you can't walk around life hating people and expect God to stop Russia and China from the World War III attack. You have to come to Jesus. You have to come to Jesus. You must repent now. You can't just go to church on Sunday, okay? Your community needs therapy and God. You need love. You need love, folks. Not strip clubs and alcohol. You need real churches in Mesquite. You need me. You need me. I am your pastor now. I am the man of God in this community. I am the prophet. I am the prophet, okay? I am a prophet. And you must prepare for the invasion of America. Your local churches are not warning you of what is to come. I am the follower of Jesus Christ. I have returned to earth. And I have returned to earth with a warning. Stop listening to the mainstream media. Stop being apathetic about other people. They're blinded by the light. West side.
Knowing Jesus and finding a life of comfort and ease, we're going to be very quickly obliterated. Now submit to another king. And the realm in which we previously lived, the one to whom we were previously submitted, the orders from whom we previously took direction, that has all changed. And the opposition that is part of that is significant. And it may, from time to time, as it does here, erupt in persecution. None of these folks would have been very interested.
I ask the spirits that can hear me, that are more conscious than the humans, to help me connect with other true followers of Christ in this community and this state and this country in the coming week. Okay, show me the power of Christ and connect me with light beings around the earth that are willing to evacuate me from a Satan's hellhole into a godly place that God will likely protect. A place where we can live in peace like the people in Lord of the Rings. I will leave America. I will leave this place if I can find love in a place of kindness, where there is true equality and true appreciation of godly people, where there is resistance to wickedness. I want to be in that place, even if that place is not here on the earth. I want to be there because earth is not paradise. Okay? I want to go up where we belong.
Is not unfamiliar to our brothers and sisters.
It's good that you're running, sir. It's good that you're running, but now you need to learn about 9/11. You need to learn the truth about 9/11 and build your heart up.
Alianza Internacional. Tu aspecto es el siguiente: recibir el consejo que viene de Dios. Como ve, todo mundo necesita el consejo que viene de Dios. Yo he visto a grandes hombres y mujeres de Dios.
Call upon the power of Jesus Christ to pull out the demons, because you have Satanists that are not men of God. You have disrespected a man of God, and you are on notice now. Time to wake the dead. Wakey, wakey! It was at this park 6 months ago. With Christians at this park that you're in now. Chinese-Russian invasion that's coming. They said they heard the word of God and they called me a prophet. I have been warning about Russia and China for 20 years. Nobody's ever called me a prophet but your people 6 months ago. Well, I'm telling you the truth. I was right about everything that I said would happen, okay? And you need to get prepared with food and water, okay? Because things are escalating and you can't trust the people in your government, okay? You can't trust the people in your government. When you're in a high-speed chase, don't look back. Follow your guidance. What's Gunner say? Do the opposite of Gunner. Gunner says turn right, turn left. What's Gunner say? Turn right. What do you do? Turn left. Yeah. 1, 2. In the same spirit that the amen or collector might collect a debt, you're here to collect on Satan. You're here as an angel of God. You're not here collecting for Satan. You're here collecting for God. You're collecting souls. We're taking souls back, baby. We're here to collect. It's just a soul-filled wasteland. Clapping gets rid of entities too. I am the shaman. I am the ultimate warrior. I am the ultimate truther, and so are you. Because you're here and you're my student, you now will be the teacher. One day you were a critic, and then one day you woke up and you were part of the solution. No longer part of the problem. One day you woke up and you became part of the solution.